Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Mail. So for today, I'm going to go over this really good email I was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy. He is 73 years old. He is currently living in Thailand. He's been there for like 18 years or so. And he shares his story how, I guess, a number of years after he was married and had kids, his wife informed him that she was no longer going to take care of him in the bedroom. In fact, he wasn't going to get any kind of affection or love whatsoever. Basically, his job was just to pay the bills and take care of the kids and all that. And our guy was not having that. He told her pretty much either you're going to take care of me or we're done. And so the divorce happens, and she decides that he is the root of all evil and wanted to try to make his life a living hell, scorched earth, all that. And you'll see how our guy realized this ain't going to work. I got to get out of Dodge, and you'll find out why. Moves his money out of the country, moves himself out of the country, and has started over and has had one amazing life ever since on multiple fronts. And I'll be going to go over here, guys, a good, entertaining story which you'll appreciate, and making the point that if things don't go well with your first marriage and you're feeling pretty low, she takes you to the cleaners, you can start over. If you're smart, if you are willing to take risks, if you, all those type of things, you can have a second part of your life that's darn good. You just got to be resourceful and all that. And this story proves that. He says here, hello, SSM. You recently read a story from a subscriber that was suddenly denied sex because his wife became asexual. I made a comment about my ex trying to do something similar to me and me divorcing her, and now she's old and alone. I'm also remarried to an awesome, young, traditional Thai lady. The comment received close to 100 likes and several replies asking me to send in my story. So here it is. Yeah, I did a story a couple days ago about a young guy writing in about, that type of thing, and a lot of guys commented and said they wanted to hear it, so here we are. Goes to show you guys, comment away, people, it will result in good things. He says, I do hope this gives the community a new option for their future. Well, I married Louise in the late 1970s after finishing university and getting myself financially okay. As usual, everything went fine for many years. Well, that's usually how it works. That's why they call it the honeymoon period. I was a school counselor, which paid decent back then, but I started investing in property and building houses in a growing urban area, and each investment started to give me massive payoffs because of wealthy new immigrants deciding this was the best place on earth. Good for you, man. You had your regular career, but you took your extra money and put it into something. That's great. When I was 40 years old and Louise 39, our first son was born. Wow, that's pretty late. Things became even better than before. I had the cash to build a 6,300 square foot Street of Dreams mansion on the most prestigious street. Our daughter was born 3 years later, and Louise had to quit her job and become a full-time mom. A Hollywood location scout knocked at the door one day, and our house was located for a top TV series and a few commercials too. Wow, that's awesome, man. Email me and let me know what frickin' show this was. I want to know. This gave Louise incredible validation and attention from the entire neighborhood and teachers, etc. It's impossible not to notice a Hollywood production in a small neighborhood. Oh, I'm sure she was loving that. I stopped building and became really involved with the kids and also signed up for a sabbatical leave program that gave me reduced salary, but every fourth year off work. Well, cool. You could be there more for the kids growing up. Sounds like you really didn't need your job. Maybe you were in it for the insurance or something like that, and you just made plenty of money off your investments. I don't know. So basically, things were perfect. I couldn't imagine a better life. Famous last words. But Louise wasn't happy. Shocker. All that. And she ain't happy. For no logical reason or explanation. She found that parenting just wasn't her thing and started staying up late, smoking and drinking coffee while reading novels all day long. So she's just a lazy fucking bum. Meanwhile, you've made the lifestyle that she's been enjoying. I love being a dad, so I stepped up and did most of the parenting type of stuff, and eventually everything else was neglected. I had many discussions with Louise and sent her to counseling and therapy, and it was a total waste of time. Of course, it was a waste of time because in her mind, and like many wives, They don't need counseling. There's nothing wrong with them. You're the problem. Then one night, my daughter was sick from the flu. Louise slept in her bed that night and never came back. One day, as Louise and I were pulling into the driveway, she announced that she didn't love me anymore and that our relationship was going to be simply parenting the children from then on in. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Cupcake. No, that ain't going to fly. This was totally unacceptable, and I quietly started going to lawyers to get a divorce. Good for you, man. I'm glad you didn't tolerate that shit. A lot of guys would have stayed in that fucking mess, and the kids would have grown up in a house where mom and dad didn't love each other. They'd think that was normal, and they'd be in the same crap down the road. Not to mention, you're not getting any, and not getting any love. That's not worth it. Well, the lawyers informed me that I was screwed. With Louise refusing to return to work and being a full-time parent, I would have to pay her half my wage, probably forever. Well, that's the refuse to work. I mean, I can see you having to pay something because she wasn't working for a while, but she did work before eventually, because that's what she said. Anyhow, the laws had changed to no-fault divorce, and my pension was now a family asset to be divided forever. But a dead bedroom was not for me, and I decided to take the hit. Raising children in a loveless home was not an option. It teaches all the wrong things. I agree with that. I served Louise the papers myself, and she swept them and everything else on the kitchen table onto the floor. A vindictive enemy was born that day. Oh, yes. That's how it works. I mean, yeah, she's vindictive because she wanted you to stick around and play by her rules. You know, you continue working and providing the lifestyle, and she's going to sit on her ass all day and read books and smoke cigarettes and drink coffee, probably getting some on the side from somebody else, let's be honest here, and having you raise the kids and all that. You ruined her plan, so she's going to get even with you, you devil. The years of divorce that followed were the worse, the marriage way worse. Louise had been a top court reporter for years and knew all the legal tricks of destroying a person. Court reporter, huh? She'd been flown around the entire country working on the most expensive and contentious legal cases. She knew the law, but wasn't bound by the actual legal ethics of true lawyers. I'm kind of wondering why she was flown around the country. I mean, wasn't this like a local thing or a state thing? I mean, I don't know. She represented herself and made endless motions and filings. She represented herself? Okay. I told my lawyer to give her everything she wanted, as long as she would have to return to work, and the house would be sold and assets divided. I offered her full custody, but she counted with weekly custody split. Why would you offer her full custody? I mean, she sounds like a fucking nutcase. I'm not understanding this part. She refused to follow her court order to work and enjoyed every other week with total relaxation, with me paying for everything. From a single teacher's salary, wow, the family courts are crazy. Yeah, but you also had money you said you made from investments and all that. But I guess I was all tied up in real estate. So I fought this in court with a top legal shark, but I didn't even get a chance to present the whole case. Louise outsmarted the judge by bursting into tears and concocted a story of my son attacking my daughter. Oh, for God's sake. They always fall for the waterworks, these candy-ass judges. She had called both the police and family services the previous night. She actually risked my son's removal to foster care rather than working. True evil. You bet it's true evil. Now, okay, you had your son I think 40 years old, and I know eventually you're in your mid-50s when you get out of there, so he's a teenager now, but still. The new order was for me to pay for children's therapy and to report if they need to be split apart. Both children confirmed that the incident was simply minor kids' disagreement over a video game. Well, there you go. The court battles became endless, and my lawyer said to fire him because he was afraid of Louise, plus that basically every family lawyer in the city did not want to represent me. He said she wanted to take everything from endless legal bills being sent to me, and the lawyers feared her legal repercussions. She went after lawyers in attempts to disbar them. She was crazy. Scary shit. So, I mean, what I'm puzzled about is that obviously she was an attorney, if I'm not mistaken here, but spent enough years in the family courts to just see and observe everything, how it worked. I guess that's how she was able to pull her bullshit. Probably knew everybody that worked there, knew the judges and all that, I guess. And she's going scorched earth because, God forbid, you were going to play by her plan. Louise tried. I could go on and on with a book of crazy incidents, but the day I reached 55 years old, I retired, and the order switched to a 60-40 split in my pension in my favor. I actually made more than working. Well, Louise tried to get my retirement revoked, but the judge told her that it looked like I already had legally resigned. My only win ever. Weekly legal attacks went on, and the stories are amazing. An incomprehensible level of hatred that never ended. My son warned me one day that his mom was typing all day long, preparing a special expenses demand, and asked him to deliver it to me the following week. So, in 7 days, I had an auction removal company pack up everything. I told my landlord to keep my deposit and pack 2 suitcases of beachwear. I sent my remaining $500,000 from everything I had to a tax haven island in the Caribbean. So in other words, he realized that he was screwed. And was going to get more and more screwed. Because it sounds like, from what you said, the divorce hadn't gone through officially yet. This war was going on forever. So knowing you're fucked, you got out of there and got the rest of your money out of Dodge. I wasn't able to say goodbye to the kids because she'd be at the airport with some legal claim. So I'm guessing now the kids are in at least your son is in his late teens or something like this. This is past your mid-50s because your son was born when you were 40. I mean, it's unfortunate this happened this way, but you had to get out of there before she took everything. I flew to Cambodia and then walked across the border to Thailand. But only my sister knew that. Everyone else was told I was staying in Cambodia. My ex was required to deliver and serve me in person, so I became invisible to her. Nice, dude. It's still unfortunate you had to do on the basis with the kids. If you didn't have kids, I'd be like, wonderful. But obviously, maybe there's some things you're leaving out, but they were obviously late teens at this point, and they could manage for themselves. I know later on you mentioned more about them. I talked to both children every second day and paid for their universities, etc. They both understood why I left. Okay, that's good. If they were little kids, leaving her the way she was behaving, that wouldn't have been as good. No one would blame you, but leaving the country with that harpy if they were little, I'm glad at least they were late teens about to graduate. Well, my son flies over fairly frequently. They have been given title to a luxury condo in Waikiki, and I know I did my best with them. I've rebuilt my assets over here by using my old skills of finding beach property and developing it. Renovating or building in great locations seldom fails. Dude, that's awesome. I would imagine Thailand is a lot more easy to work with you, with less red tape than it would be here in the States. Well, it took me about 8 years to recover from the damage of the marriage, etc. I built my body into the best shape possible for my age, and I've been with many women, various types of relationships, and learned to be a very good lover. It says here, most importantly, I studied R-pill manosphere subjects until I really understand women's nature. Well, your whole marriage and the divorce, that was one hell of a lesson, bro. I follow your channels to remind myself I'm not alone and that marriage is a peril to avoid in the West. You don't have to watch my channels. You know darn well through your own experience. I vowed to live alone and never ever to remarry. Well, that's good. But don't worry. You'll see, guys. But a study of Thai family law showed me that it's not risky over here. All premarital assets are completely protected. Nobody can touch my foreign freehold condos or privately owned vehicles. The thing that changed my mind was the realization that my health would eventually fade and deteriorate, and that a traditional young Thai woman could make my old age better than living alone. Well, again, if it is true what you say about the Thai family laws and all that and assets and whatever, then great. But laws can change. So I made a list of attributes: young, slim, educated, never married, no kids, poor with few or no luxury experiences, unbroken family with its own resources for life, no smoking, and basically little to no alcohol, little makeup, never been to a bar go-go city, and preferably little English, proving no previous foreign boyfriends, etc., etc., and willing to join my life in my city. Okay, in other words, your way or the highway. And she better be all these things, otherwise you're not going to waste your time. Well, I could write another book on the potential relationship disasters many Western guys experience when they simply fly over and fall madly in love with the first gold digger that they meet at a bar. Well, I'm sure there are plenty. And another book on teaching of the new young Thai trad girl from the village thing. Most Western guys, including the old version of me, simply cannot comprehend the concept of a fantastic loving marriage between a 63-year-old guy and a 22-year-old university grad. God damn, dude. Oh, the jokes that can come out of here. And by the way, he sent me pictures of his now wife. He's been with her for like 10 years now. And let me tell you, he's in his early 70s. She's in her early 30s. This guy has a fucking smile on his face like he's a goddamn king of the universe. Oh, yeah. And she's a pretty girl, so good job. When we go on cruises around the world, the looks we get are hilarious. But the husbands seek me out and ask me how. The wives of my friends are all encouraging the end of our friendship. And yeah, never bring the young wife to the West, not wise. I don't know, man. If I was in your shoes, I'd bring her to the West to visit and get all the dirty looks from all the feminists and all. It'd be pretty funny. Now, let's not kid ourselves, my friend. I'm glad that you're with a gal you're married for 10 years, and I've seen the pictures, and she's a darn good-looking girl, and she certainly looks happy to be with you, and you're happy, and she's happy, and everybody's happy. But let's not forget for 1 second that it's a business deal. You're getting something out of it, and she's getting something out of it. Let's not kid ourselves. And I know you know this, you know. I'm sure she enjoys your company. I mean, she's not going to fake it that much for 10 years. I can see on her face. She's still thin, pretty, feminine, all that. You can tell by the pictures. But I'm sure that your wealth has helped with her family and all that. And okay, it's probably small potatoes what you have. And she's there to take care of you. And I'm sure she takes care of you. And especially as you get older. Great. And you both benefit from it. But still, it's a business deal. My Thai wife of 10 years now is still happy every day. So am I. She's given me her youth and does every single domestic chore with a smile and a singing of a song. Singing of a song, she's Cinderella. Here's a question I have. She never wanted to have kids? I mean, maybe not. We tease each other and love each other's company. I've given her an awesome life. Ding, ding, ding. And she is completely grateful. Well, that's good. I can tell by the pictures. And she's made my life a huge adventure and keep me thinking young. I'm really grateful for her, too. Well, you know what? My mom helped keep my dad young. My dad was 25 years older than my mom. But she knows I'll walk away from any disrespect. She's not on the pedestal. We live in the penthouse in the biggest bar area in the country. A willing young lady is available 24/7. My wife fears losing me. Husband stealing is a national sport over here. Well, good. She needs to know that you can walk away like that. And she needs to know that there are options out there for you. Plenty. And obviously she does. Because unless a woman truly knows, I said this 16,000 times, and I'll say it for the 16,001 time, unless she knows that you're willing to walk away like that, and you can replace her, never going to truly respect you, and therefore never truly love you. Our beach city has dance clubs and restaurants where age gap is the norm. Life is awesome. Well, good, man, because you earned it. But you also took the chance in starting a second life. That's great. And most importantly, my ex-wife has kept all her cash in the bank and it's lost all its purchasing power through inflation. That's what's going to happen. People have to educate themselves on financial issues, otherwise, right there. She's old and ugly and nasty. I advised her how to invest in 3 condos immediately following the divorce, but she's in an old apartment and sleeps with her bank book. No friends, no relationship ever. I've told my kids to forgive her and respect whatever they can. Well, that's good of you, because she wouldn't do that for you. All I wanted was to live a married life forever with my first wife in a secure, happy family relationship. She destroyed that and almost destroyed me. But I kept focused on rebuilding, and the result is so awesome. I hope the SSM community is convinced that good stuff can happen and be achieved by those who persevere. I'll attach photos of my new wife and myself. I hope this is suitable for your channel. Best wishes from a long-term subscriber of all 3 channels. Thank you for what you do, Ron, a 73-year-old expat. Ron, awesome story. Great comeback. And yes, perseverance, guys. Starting over. It's hard to start over. It's hard to deal with change. Some people are better at dealing with change than others. And it's one thing to have change that you want. It's another thing if it's dropped in your fucking lap. But man, you did what you had to do. And I'm glad, again, sounds like when you got out of there that kids were darn close to legal adulthood, so they were okay. And I'm sure they understood given how fucking crazy your ex was. But that's great. And your ex, the purchasing power of her money is dwindling, and you're kicking butt in life. That is awesome. You deserve this, and you're going to, when your time comes, whatever that may be, I hope it's not for like 30 years, you get to be 100 years old, you're still going to have a big-ass grin on your face, just like you do in the picture. So enjoy it, my man. You earned it, and best of luck to you. So I appreciate you writing this in. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. I'm sure you like the video. Share it with your friends, and subscribe. Catch you next time.